Now, huge win for Toronto over Vancouver, right? Now, before I get to just really enjoying the win and everything like that, I just want to say quickly, Edler with the respect there. We weren't happy about that contact on Hyman last time. And even though he missed a couple games there, right? So clearly that wasn't good enough for Simmons. So Simmons says, let's go. And it looked like Edler gave him very little trouble in terms of the arguing beforehand. I think he knew exactly what was going on and just said, okay, for better or worse, here I go. And what I like about that for both of them is if you notice, okay, Wayne gives him a few pops to let him know, like, you don't get to do that, okay? But he didn't full on go crazy on him. There was no need for that because Edler was clearly not in fighting condition. That's not exactly his strong suit, I guess. And he closed up pretty soon after the fight. For a guy who doesn't really fight, I mean, that's it, right? That's all you can expect. You get to give him a few shots to say, hey, smarten up. He takes it and says, okay, my bad. And then after that, they move on. And I think they did a good job of letting that go. There's no reason to make a huge enemy out of Vancouver. They're not going to be enemies for us. Right? Season's closing in, and they're not going to be a threat to us at all, at least, right? I doubt they're ever going to make it into that final spot. They're dead last right now, with some games in hand, though. So they might pass Ottawa, but, no reason to make a big threat out of Ottawa. No reason to make a big threat out of Vancouver. Calgary might make some moves, but for the most part, you know what I mean? This is the kind of game you want to see. Get that crap out of the way. Okay? And then the Leafs get right down to business. Just tearing them apart. Tearing them apart. I mean, guys, okay, the Leafs had under 30 shots. Okay? Not that great. But considering they had control the whole game, I mean, they kept Vancouver to under 20 shots for the whole game, didn't they? I believe the last time I counted there, the last time I saw it was under 20 shots. It was 16, 17, something like that. I don't know. Maybe the last couple minutes they finally got over 20 there. But you know what I mean? Even 20 shots for an entire game, that's domination. That's domination, okay? The only way you could say that that's a good thing is if you were so dominant in a game that it was like playing little kids. You only needed 20 shots to score a few goals. But that's not what Vancouver needed. They needed a lot more help than that. Coming off of COVID, it was no easy feat to do what they did. I'm not trying to disrespect them as a team here, okay? But this is what happens when emotion runs out, right? So they steal a couple wins against Toronto. Great, good for them. It's probably good moral victories for them to come back after that huge break and then be able to put up a couple of W's against the division's best team, okay? But they did it. The emotions ran for a little while. Now it's all catching up to them. So I'm not saying we got to brag about this, right? I'm not saying they got to brag about this at all. This is not something we should be rubbing it in the face of Vancouver fans or nothing like that. But, you know what I mean? They're not a threat. They weren't when they beat us. I wasn't worried then. I'm not worried now. And for anyone who was worried, now you see. Now you see, right? But straight up, they're still strong enough to play spoiler for a few other teams along the way, right? You never know. Man, that Montreal-Calgary thing, I don't know. At one point, it was a big deal. I'm not sure if it's still a big deal anymore. It looks like, I think the last time I checked, Montreal's got some separation there, and they might actually lock it down soon enough. Edmonton and Winnipeg switching spots, second and third. I don't know, maybe they switched back now after tonight or something. I don't know. But I didn't see that coming. Edmonton making another surge, But whoever comes out of that series is going to be a dangerous team too, man. That second, third place, because, the Leafs still might end up in second. We don't want to, get... As Leafs fans, guys, okay, we can brag about the things that have 100% occurred, happened. Don't start getting cocky about things that haven't happened yet. That's all I'm saying, right? That's the number one rule as a Leafs fan. Don't start going off about things that haven't happened yet, right? Just be psyched about what has happened. And certainly was a lot to be psyched about. Matthews with some incredible plays, Marner with some incredible plays, Kerfoot with some incredible plays. I mean, all around, it's just great. You got Spezza passing Maurice Richard's record there. Tied it in Montreal. Got to look up and see that man's name hung up in the rafters and then say, you know what? I think I'm taking this guy down a notch next game. And it's no disrespect. It's no disrespect to the legend that come before you. But you know what I mean? If you're playing any of these guys setting records, Marlowe and then Jack Campbell, and there's been plenty of good stories. Anytime that your name goes in a record book, over guys that have been in this, been in the record book for 30 plus years, 20 plus years, stuff like that, uncontested. Here you are, stepping over them a little bit. That's gotta feel good. That's gotta feel good. It means that, you accomplished something pretty cool, pretty special. And I hope they're all enjoying it, especially our boy Patty Marleau down in San Jose and stuff like that. And Thornton being the oldest Leaf ever to score a goal or something like that now too, or score a point. I don't remember what it was. Just records, man. Records everywhere, you know? And one that's league-wide, like passing Maurice Richard. What a legend that guy is, right? That Spets is up there now, eh? So, just good stuff, man. Good stuff all around. I like what I'm seeing. Just enough intensity right now, but also they're not straining themselves. I said it was going to be a bit of a tough game because they had the younger guys coming up. The guys that, like, for them, this is their playoffs, right? This is what they've been waiting for. If they're really part of a team, and I believe that the Marlies, the Leafs, you saw the connection there with Spets getting the money going for them and everything like that. There's a strong bond between both teams, and you need that in today's NHL. Because what it means is right now when you got all the guys that need their time off to rest up from an injury here or there or whatever, you know what I mean? You got guys you can call up, and they know that this is their playoffs. This is where they get to say to the guys on the main team, boys, sit it out for a game or two, okay? You rest up for that cup, all right? We'll take it from here. We'll get you to the end. And man, I love seeing it. I love seeing it. Peter Engvall, or I always say Peter because I swear there was a Peter, right? But Pierre Engvall, right? Sniping one right after Matthews did it. Now the Matthews one, I'm sitting there going like, as soon as they were at center ice, Marner and Matthews, I'm like, 2-on-1, they got this. They just looked so confident in what was about to happen. So I saw that one coming, sure. But then almost the same play happens with Pierre Engvall there. And what does he do? Pops it in from I think an even wider angle on even a smaller space. You know? So it was arguably the tougher goal to get, although I don't think it goes in as easily without the goalie being psyched out about the fact that Matthews just scored that way. So it was a little bit of like past trauma instantly coming back, you know? That can affect the goalie, man, I'm telling you. So, you know, love it. Lots of good things going around, okay? These are the things I focused on. I want to now see what you guys have been focused on. And if you're watching on YouTube later on, I mean, again, your voice is more direct here, man. Stop being lazy. Come out on Friday nights. Or no, that's the gaming one. Come out on the post games, okay? Every game we're here talking about it, right? Now, what are you guys saying?